And look, I know the Eagles have not won a game by more than one score yet this year. This is another one-score game. But to me, this is a one-score game with a bit of an asterisk next to it. Because the Eagles were running out the clock. And they were well into field goal range before they just ran out the clock and killed the final clock on the final drive. If they needed to, they could have kicked up a field goal to go up 2 scores. And I don't think the Vikings, will recover from that. Like, they could have gone up 31-22. However, with the flow of the game, it just didn't make much sense to do that. They were able to just run down the clock on 4th down with that play. I was saying I'd throw it out of bounds or take the intentional safety. Kicking a field goal would have been really dumb because if the Vikings block it and return it for a touchdown, they could win the game right then and there. And you don't do that. You just kill the clock out. That being said, the Vikings, maybe had a little bit more time left and they were able to force the field goal, then in that case, it's a 2-score game at that point. I will say that this game, I still have some concerns about the Eagles after this game. It was a very well-played game by Jalen Hurts, as he had a perfect passer rating. Finally cracked the 300-yard mark. But what I will say about... What I will say is that, our scheming is still quite poor. Too many 3-and-outs still. And our defense, our red zone defense was pretty good today. Vikings made 6 trips to the red zone. They only scored 1 touchdown. The other, 5 were field goals. But I don't think the Vikings punted at all today. I think it was 5 field goals and a touchdown. The other 2 drives were interceptions, one of which ending in a pick 6. So the defense, did a pretty good job of generating turnovers, but they couldn't get a regular stop until the Vikings were already in the red zone. So they've got to be able to get stops. They've got to be able to get 3-and-outs. They've got to force punts. Because I don't think the Vikings punted at all today.